Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Donald Trump, your president, believed he had a deal with Iran, something that could have eased tensions and changed the direction of this conflict. But now Iran is backing away, denying key claims and refusing to fully commit. So, what happened here? Because if this deal falls apart all the way, the implications will be dire. I mean, the fallout is going to have far-reaching effects that won't just stay overseas. Yeah, fam, this is serious. So check this article out here. Iran rebuffs Trump's plan for new round of peace talks, state media reports. Iran on Sunday, let me make this a little larger so y'all can read along. Iran on Sunday denied it would participate in new peace talks with the United States. Its state news agency reported on Sunday, hours after US President Donald Trump said its negotiators would head to Pakistan on Monday for a second round of peace talks with Iran. Iran's official IRNA news agency cited no specific source in its report that Iran had rejected the talks. Iran stated that its absence from the second round of talks stems from what it called Washington's excessive demands, unrealistic expectations, constant shifts in stance, repeated contradictions, and the ongoing naval blockade, which it considers a breach of the ceasefire, IRNA wrote. And we can stop right there, fam, because let me tell you right there, I think we all kind of get what's going on here. Once again, Trump is playing a dangerous game of Monopoly. He thinks that Iran is some bootlicking country that he can just do anything to. Let me remind you that there's 90 million people in Iran, 90 million people who are devoted to Iran. Now, you might say, well, you know, it's a repressive regime. What regime ain't repressive? Yeah, think about the United States. You know, look at all of the things that we've signed over lately. Think about what I'm saying, fam. Look at all the rights that we've given up lately. Think about that. And as you think about that, I want to hit you with some other facts here, because these key differences that the United States and Iran has, I mean, it could lead to something really, really dark, fam. First and foremost, the key points of Iran's rejection includes control of the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has refused to lift its blockade of the vital oil shipping lane, instead demanding recognition of its sovereignty over the waterway. They have rejected U.S. terms. Iran labeled the 15-point U.S. ceasefire proposal as excessively demanding and unrealistic, which is what I told y'all when I first heard it. I'm like, man, people ain't gonna do all of that. Why would they do all of that? It would benefit them nothing. And keep in mind, the United States started the war. They bombed on Iran first. So what does Iran have to fight for? Iran has to fight for its respect and any future attacks. They have to get enough respect to where they can avoid anybody thinking one time about attacking them. Because believe you me, the rest of the world is watching this conflict, and they're trying to see how Iran is going to handle this attack from the United States and Israel, but primarily the United States. They're trying to see how the United States is going to handle this, but they're also trying to see how Iran is going to handle it. And based on that, if they allow the United States to steamroll them, they're going to lose a lot of points on the global scene. And they absolutely are going to have some problems with Israel, because Israel does not like the ground that Iranians walk on, and they want that. They want that. And so if Iran just folds and capitulates to the United States demands, it's pretty much a wrap, and they would have gained nothing from this war, nothing but humiliation. But if the United States can get Iran to see things their way, then they got to bomb on Iran, destroy a whole bunch of stuff, kill some people, and pretty much send out a message to the rest of the world. You better do what we say do, or you could be next. Iran has conditioned any deal on the payment of reparations for damages caused during the war. They want payback. They want the United States to put up the money to rebuild their country that the United States illegally destroyed. I don't know, fam, does that sound reasonable to you? Do you think this is something that is just, this is just wishful thinking for Iran? Tehran is demanding concrete, binding guarantees that prevent the U.S. from reimposing war or further aggression, including a complete halt to actions against resistance groups in the region. So not only do they have resistant groups in Iran, but they have resistant groups in Pakistan and in other Middle Eastern countries. And they're saying, we want those people to have safe passage. If y'all attack them, then it's on. So not only do you need to stop bombing on us, but you need to stop bombing on those groups that are sympathetic to our cause. Iran has accused the United States of armed piracy and violating a ceasefire through naval seizures of tankers, which they say makes negotiations impossible. In other words, you can't sit and say that you're talking to me and you're being civilized and you're being respectful of me, while at the same time bombing on me and trying to stop me from doing business. I find it very reckless the way that Trump talks while they're supposed to be in negotiations with another country or entering negotiations. I find it very reckless the way he talks. Well, they better do it because it will be really, otherwise it'll be really bad. I mean, we're talking right there. We're talking to them. And we're having, everything's okay. You know, it seems like they want to do a deal, but if they don't want to do a deal, it's okay. We'll bomb them. We'll kill everybody. That's reckless to me, fam. That is extremely reckless. And it's not diplomatic at all. Look, let me tell you something, fam. When it comes to getting down, when it comes to, if I got to do it, look, man, it's whatever, right? I try to avoid conflict if I can, but if I'm in survival mode, I'm gonna do whatever it is that I gotta do. So I'm one of them dudes that I say, if it's going down, let's get it over with. If it's going down, let's get it over with. But if it ain't going down, I don't want it to go down because conflict is costly. But if it's going down, let's get it over with. I'm not going to have a conversation about wanting peace, but at the same time, I am facilitating war. Because he's not just talking about war, he's actually facilitating war at the same time. He's doing things to break the ceasefire. Right now, the ceasefire is supposed to be still on right now. But Trump imposed a blockade. I mean, he's antagonizing Iran while at the same time saying that he's at the table negotiating for peace. It doesn't make a lot of sense. You got reports that indicate that while the United States sought a 20-year pause on uranium enrichment, Iran offered a significantly shorter 5-year suspension. So Iran is saying, yeah, 20 years, that's too long for us to suspend any type of research or dedicate any type of funds to building a nuclear program. We'll do a 5-year deal, not 20-year deal. I don't know what the 5-year deal is about, because if I'm not signing a 20-year deal, I'm not signing a 5-year deal. In fact, if it's me, I ain't signing no deal. No deal. Hell, you got nukes, I'm gonna get me some nukes. If you got nukes, I'm getting me some nukes. I want to have at least what my enemy has, so I can have a chance. I gotta be able to stand a chance, man. I'm not gonna take a knife to a gunfight or a missile to a nuclear fight. I need to, I'm not gonna put it like this, I'm not gonna take a drone to a nuclear fight. Nah, man, I got to have some get back, man. Yeah, I'm not just trying to survive, man. I'm trying to win. So I already knew once they put that deal on the table, 15 points, and these are 15 serious points. I already knew that wasn't going to be a deal. A good deal is when both sides feel a little pain. I'm not getting everything that I want, but I'm getting most of what I want. Now, every deal, you got to have a deal breaker. You got to have something that says, I'm just not going to do that. If that's the deal breaker, this is my deal breaker. But you got to be realistic about a deal breaker, because you got to say to yourself, is this deal breaker emotional or is it practical? Am I being practical? You got to be practical, not emotional. And sometimes people have deal breakers, even in the music industry, which I've been, dealing with 36 years. People will get emotional about these deals instead of being practical about the deal. And if you get emotional, you can end up putting yourself in a real bad position. I know so many people that it's important, let me say that, it's important to have your business together. But I know so many people that came into the industry, artists who came into the industry, that was so dead set on not getting effed around or not getting effed, that they effed themselves. You picking up what I'm putting down? Drop a comment, fam. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Looks like Donald Trump ordered the deal ain't working out so well. No more talk.